Alright, Kieran, you're first up.
Okay, I'm going to move up to here. And I'm going to cast Color Spray.
Nice one. That is a dirty move, but that is a nice shot.
$40 hit points worth of creatures.
And you centered it on which of them? Like the ones up front, or the ones in the back, or what?
Well, it's a cone. It catches all 6 of them. So 15-foot cone.
Alright, those two guys are blinded and start stumbling around. If I remember correctly, it lasts
Just 1 round.
just
So,
1 round? Alright. Alright, he runs up to attack, and there are 2. This one actually charges through. He is going to head for the dwarf.
does that grant me an attack of opportunity?
I think they changed that. Well, actually, I guess if he runs through your area, he'd be able to, yes. And since he rolled a foul, go ahead and make it like automatic crit and make it an automatic hit with a crit. We'll just do it that way.
Okay, is it just with 1 rapier or both?
Yeah, it's just 1.
So 13? I'm assuming I don't get sneak attack on that.
Nah. And obviously both of his attacks on full run failed. Old Wolf is going to fire his bow. finally hit something. He won't really be able to quite make it over because he has to go around this guy. Well, he had to go around these guys, actually. Alright, forward.
Alright, well, I will take a couple whacks at this guy. Can't really show my back to these other guys over here, so I'm going to stay where I'm at right now.
And that's a hit. And a crit. So we'll say 9 and 15 is 24. Bash and bash significantly hurts him, but not dead yet. And 16 hit or miss on you, Scott?
It's a miss.
Alright, Cthulhu.
Okay, you said there's two creatures back here staring at Boruk?
There's 3.
One that looks insubstantial and one that does not?
No, there's 3. These guys are kind of hard to see. There are 2 creatures that basically look like fell creatures. That's the picture that I showed you guys earlier. You guys all did see it, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
And then this thing standing off to the side is the other one.
And that one is the one that looks like it's kind of in and out?
Exactly. These 2 are chanting. They're obviously casting some sort of magic on Gorsk. This one is basically just watching, sort of almost dispassionately. He doesn't really care about what's happening with you guys. And he doesn't even seem to be paying too much attention to what's happening on the altar.
So they're not about to kill him, but they are about to put some sort of horrible spell on him.
Right. It looks like they're using him in a ritual.
Okay, so we just have to hurry. I'll try to mace this big guy to my left.
That is a hit.
Two freaking ones on damage. That would have been the worst crit in history.
Alright, Kieran?
do not like the fact that I'm surrounded, so I'm going to use my disengage. I'm going to move back here next to Full Run. And I'm going to try to finish off that one enemy.
And when you disengage, there's no attack of opportunity, right?
Right. It's my uncanny dog. It's one of the rogue things.
All right. And that's gonna hit him.
One or both.
Both of those hit him. I'll tell you, you basically like. How do you like do tumbling, or do you just like run back, or how would you move?
I just kind of run back through, maybe a little tumble or something like that.
Alright, so you ran back, and then almost as an afterthought, you pulled out your rapier, chopped off his head, and it fell to the ground as you dropped back into a safe position.
Okay.
This is going to turn and move forward to attack Kafan. Does 17 hit?
Nope, they swung too high.
Right over the top of your little head.
Would have hit me if I was still a human.
Oh, that's not good. So, right as the old wolf starts firing his bow breaks, he looks around distraught, and then he starts clutching his chest and goes down to one knee.
You were determined to have the old wolf not survive.
He's not dying yet.
Yeah, you think we will stop and help him with a heart attack while we're fighting?
Alright, does 18 hit? On you, Kafan?
You need an 18 to hit.
Alright, he reaches out and bites you on your shield arm for 5 damage. Alright, this guy has realized that the most physically demanding is going to be this dwarf. He charges in to attack. He swings his trident at you twice. Well, that's interesting.
Did he fall on his trident, or did he run into my mace as he moved through?
Alright, so as he's running by, his first trident attack actually hits this guy and he winds up skewering him. And unfortunately for him, his trident gets stuck in his guy, sticking out of his back, and he has no weapon in hand currently.
Form, you just stared him down and practically killed him with your awesome.
Nice.
Alright, forward.
Seizing on the opportunity of the recently disarmed head guy, I will attempt to bash his face in.
Unfortunately, the first one is a miss. And the second one's a hit. Uh, 17 misses, correct, Scott?
Yes, that's correct.
Alright, he runs up to attack at you, but swings wildly both times and misses. Alright, Cathan?
Well, it's working, so let's continue to use the mace, and I'll start with the guy on my left, because that's the one I thumped earlier.
Unfortunately, this time it misses him.
Wah wah.
Alright, Kieran?
All right, I'm going to attack the big boss guy with my Richters.
Right before you attack him, he looks back at his guys behind him and tells them to move. And hit.
$45.
Now he's really freaking out and trying to get behind them. Two misses against Cathan. And Old Wolf is trying to stabilize, but he hasn't yet. He's losing some more hit points. And 15 still a miss.
On me? Yeah.
Alright, he's going to attack at full run with both of his claws. Does the 18 hit?
Nope.
Alright, so he'll take 7 points of damage from his claws. Did it actually change that roll? That's hilarious. I rolled them like right in a row and it actually bumped the dice to something higher. Does the 16 hit you, Jeremy?
A 16 total? You need a 18 or higher.
19, okay, so that hits. Alright, you take 6 points as a sword slice from this guy. Alright, Foreign.
Alright, you may have given me a little scratch, but I'm gonna keep bashing his head in. Wait, how many failed rolls has the old guy had? Has he failed any?
Don't worry about the old guy.
He's failed
Okay.
one. He's still clutching and gasping for breath.
Well, I can't seem to hit anything anyways.
He got you there.
The second one I hit?
The second one misses.
Okay.
So that was at Scott. Both of those miss. Alright, Cathon.
Okay, I'm going to burn my bonus action to cast a first level spell on the old man. He's going to recover as many hit points as I roll.
Does it stabilize from death and stuff?
I would imagine if his death is, well, you're going to have to make a judgment call on this, because I don't know how he's dying. If it's hit point loss that's killing him, it's going to restore some of his hit points to prevent him from having to make more death checks. If it's another effect, then this is going to do squat for him.
Alright, well, since you're spending an action, we'll say that it stabilizes him.
And then, because I'm not plowing through these guys fast enough, spiritual weapon on the guy to my left to start with.
Alright, roll. Then I gave you control. Bam!
Boom! $17 points of damage on that dude.
That was a lot better attack.
And that's it. I've got to do attack rolls to attack with the weapon, so I'm done.
Alright, Kieran?
How bad off does the big guy look?
He's significantly frightened and he looks close to death. Things did not go how he planned at all. He's about ready to claw his own guys down to try and get away.
Sweet. Okay, so I'll attack the one directly in front of me. $34.
Alright, 2 misses from this guy. Alright, he's stabilized and he looks furious. He actually runs up, pulls his longsword, and attacks this guy.
And it probably is another heart attack.
As he pulls the longsword, he drops it, begins clutching his chest again, and goes to the ground.
Wow.
I can't save him. I've done what I can.
This is going to hurt on you. 2 hits. One of those is with a weapon, one with a claw. Well, wait. The 14. Was that a 14? Yeah, that missed. So you only got 1 hit.
Who's you?
Kavan.
Okay.
Alright, you'll take 9. Alright, like I said, he's freaking out. He actually turns around and does 2 claw attacks on this guy to try and run away.
The little guy's like, I want to live. I want to live.
Alright, forward.
That would be an attack on the big guy with advantage, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's turned his back. You still there, forward?
His headset died.
Okay, I'm back. Alright. He's not getting away from me.
And that'll kill him. I love how the huge threat was like the easiest to kill.
Well, 2 ones in a row kind of, messed him up. He didn't have a chance because the dice betrayed him.
You're familiar with that.
I'm also familiar with you critting me and killing me in one shot.
You want to do your second attack?
Yep. Could I move forward 5 feet first? Like so.
Yep.
And then attack the one in front of the road.
And that time it's a miss.
Okay.
Does 18 hit?
On.
On you?
No.
Alright, Cathan?
Alright. It's basically a bonus action to keep the weapon attacking the same target, so I'm going to have it do so. And... Alright, let's roll that first while I figure out what I'm going to do.
Eight. Alright, he's still up.
Might as well try to finish him off.
And what'd you roll?
15.
That's a hit.
For a measly 3 damage.
Does not finish him off.
Does the old man look like he's seconds away from expiring?
It's hard to tell at this point.
Okay.
Does a 19 hit you, Evan?
Yes.
Alright, you get a chop with a short sword for 4 points. Alright, Kieran, your turn.
Alright. The lizard dude in front of me is gonna find out why they call me a blade master.
And both of those are going to hit. He
30
is,
points.
he is sliced into pieces.
And I'm going to take my move action to move up 5 feet.
Kafan, you take another sword slice for 4 from this guy.
Okay.
Alright, he stands back up again. He seems to be back under control, but he steps back 5 feet and decides he's going to set this one out.
Probably a good idea.
It's a good thing you got back up, old wolf. You know, if you died here, that Harrison would go through your stuff.
And he misses twice against you, Jeremy. 4.
What about that one lizard guy that ran off?
Yeah, he's defeated. He's not going to re-enter the battle.
One of the creatures ahead probably ate him.
Alright, let's go for the small guy so we can get Kieran around the back.
That's a hit. He is still up. He is down. You just hit the small guy, right?
Yeah.
Alright,
Then I
Kafan
will move forward.
Okay. Kafan, your turn.
Couple of them, actually, I think. Let me look at my sheet. Okay, so he's basically the one that was... Okay, got it. One of the fell creatures is coming in. Does a 15 hit this guy with the spiritual weapon?
Yes, it does.
Sorry, did you say one of the fell creatures is breaking away from the ritual?
Yeah, that's what Cathan is shouting.
Whoops. Okay, yeah, that guy's dead.
Alright. I'll spend my action. Actually, I want to direct the weapon towards one of the fell creatures coming in, so move it 20 towards the creatures in the back.
All right, Kieran.
Slice that last guy up.
Only one hit that time.
That'll be 15 points since it was my off.
All right, and that will kill this one too.
I've actually got a really horrible idea, but you might want to tell me what the shadow demons are doing first.
One of them is going to continue the ritual. This one is going to start moving towards you to try and stop you. He'll actually be next, it looks like. He moves forward. He pulls his arm back. Fire forms in his hand, and he throws it at Fulton. And you're blasted with 11 points of fire damage.
How bad does Fulrum look?
That was 11 damage on me.
What'd you say?
So that was 11 damage on who? Me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty hurt right now.
Got it.
Alright, he moves forward. He pulls a flask out of his pocket and says, "Guess there's no better time than now to use this." He throws it into the wrong square. You guys just need to kill this guy right now and get it over with. Alright, so you took a flask out, threw it on the floor, it landed in the wrong place, and so a little bit splashed the demon, but this entire area is now basically on fire. If you look at it, you can tell it's not exactly like normal flames. It appears to be magical flames, so I wouldn't walk through there if I were you. Alright, Cathan?
Command the weapon to attack the demon, and while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and use bonus action to give our fighter a little bit more reinforcement.
Alright, that's gonna hit him.
The damage, by the way, is force damage, if that matters for this creature. And that's how many hit points you get back from my my quick spell. Fulrum.
Helps a little. Thank you.
You'll
Alright,
get something bigger next turn.
Thorin, your turn.
So I will skirt around the magical flame to come up on the creature and attack it.
And that first one's a miss. And no better luck with that second one. Alright, Kieran?
Move up here behind it and stab him.
Both of those are gonna hit.
$32 points.
You strike him with what should be a couple of really tough blows, but you can tell he doesn't take as much damage as a normal creature would.
Did the creature at all seem phased by the mace when it hit it?
He seemed to be affected fully by it. Alright, first is a claw attack against Evan. 18.
Miss.
And then 17 against Kieran is going to be a miss, right?
Yes.
Alright, he starts mumbling to himself, says I give up, and he starts walking out. Alright, Cathan? That hits.
And the weapon pretty much dissipates this round. That's the last of it. It only lasts a minute. And I'm going to heal our fighter. How you feeling now, Fulrim?
Was that the 3d8 plus 4?
Yep.
Splendid now, thank you.
Good. Bash this demon in the head.
And that is a hit. And the second one's a hit too.
Can I see what the other two are doing as well? Are they still over by the altar?
The other one, this demon is still trying to perform the ritual on Gorsk, and this one still just keeps sort of moving back and forth without paying attention to you guys.
Okay.
Did you make your second attack? Oh, for 9. Okay, sorry, I missed that. Alright, Kieran, your turn. Ooh, bad round for Kieran.
Wow.
Alright, he steps back 5 feet away from Fulren. And he takes both of his hands, charges them with fire. He throws one at the fighter, one at the priest. First, at Fulren. That misses. $18, Jeremy.
Right on the number.
Nine points of damage.
Now, does spellcasting in melee cause an attack of opportunity?
He does not. They got rid of that. Alright, Cathan.
Okay, this is where I do something incredibly stupid.
Save versus death.
Not that stupid, but pretty stupid. Alright, you can tell me as I'm doing this because it would be my character's action anyway. I'm gonna try to use Dispel Magic to disrupt the ritual.
Alright, give it a shot.
For basically, the way it works is if the ritual is considered 3rd level or lower, Dispel Magic automatically puts it to an end. For any spell 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. So I'll roll a d20 plus 4. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, so you need to kind of, I guess, ad-lib the level of the ritual if it's higher level.
Alright.
And do I get proficiency for this since I know the spell, or is it just a ability check?
I think it's just an ability check.
Well, I didn't, but I probably got somebody's attention with that.
This guy takes a minute to, he like looks up at you, and it stops him from proceeding for a couple of rounds. This thing finally turns and looks at you guys for the first time.
That was bad.
Whatever, you still got his attention.
Alright, Foreign.
Alright, so skirting the magical flame and putting myself between the now probably agitated shifting creature. I'll come around the back here and swing with my warhammer.
That's a hit. And the second one's a miss. Kieran? One hit.
Um, 14.
He's going to make 2 claw attacks on Evan. Does 18 hit?
Nope.
Then a tail attack against Kieran. Ooh, that's going to hurt. $17 points.
Alright, I'm using my uncanny dodge to have that. So what? Do we round up or down?
I've been rounding up for you guys, so you can round down for him.
About 50, you always round down.
How do you always round down?
Yeah, I thought I saw that somewhere.
Alright, Kathan?
Yeah, page 7. Whenever you divide a number in the game, round down if you end up with a fraction, even if the fraction is 1/2 or greater.
Cthon, that's how many hit points you get back. Or not Cthon, Kieran.
I was going to say, are you really referring to your character like in the third person?
Okay, I'm back to full. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, Foreign?
Keep bashing away at the vile creature. I should stop closing my character sheet.
Hit.
The second one's a crit, isn't it?
Yep. So he's starting to look significantly damaged at this point. Alright, Kieran? One hit.
$24.
Alright, he steps back again and launches fire at Fulren and at Kieran. First Fulren. And he misses both times. Alright, back to you, Cthon.
And I just healed myself because I had gotten the crap kicked out of me and was trying not to garner too much attention.
Was that your full action for the round, or did you get to do something else too?
Can I make a check on the ritual to see if there's any non-magical way of disrupting it? Like an Arcana roll?
Sure. Yeah,
Which could I add the second roll?
well, you actually notice that the demon has had, one of the demons at least, has had their hands on Vorst the entire time.
So if they stop touching him?
Fulren Stonebeard, your turn.
So I can't even really see like where this the being is approaching us really is, can I?
Well, so it seems to sort of do this sort of thing. It moves back and forth between squares as it moves. You can tell it's, in general, coming towards you. But it's doing so slowly, almost like haphazardly.
That's how you put another icon of the one next to the altar. What was that for?
Just because they're hard to see. I went ahead and put it
Okay. So this one right here isn't dead then?
It is not dead, although it looks significantly hurt.
Alright, then I'll keep attacking that one then.
First one's a miss. And a hit. He did not go down. Kieran, your turn.
See if we can finish him off.
First one's a hit.
24.
And you finally stabbed him enough, just beating him down, that he eventually disappears. Kafan, your turn.
Protection from evil on Fulrim. And I shout, behind you!
Alright, Fulren.
So this creature previously seemed to show any interest. Does it look like it's hostile now? I mean, is that a safe assumption?
Does he look like he's going to attack you immediately? No. He almost looks like he is more interested to see what you are.
Can I attempt to communicate with it?
Yeah, you can do anything you want.
Alright, I'm going to shout at it. What are you and what do you want?
So, as you do so, he reaches out to touch you. Are you going to let him, or are you going to move away?
I'm gonna move away.
Alright, so make like an opposed... Well, let's just make him make an attack roll.
Say again. Oh, just attack roll. Touch attack.
Protection from evil makes him have disadvantage against Fulrim if he is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. So, your call on this crazy creature, brother.
So he reaches out and just touches you on the forehead. As he does, you start remembering when you and Kieran and Cathan were standing in the port city years and years ago. There were others around, and there's fires everywhere.
Wait, we've met before?
Alright.
He seems to be bringing memories back.
Has the other demon stopped its ritual, or is it still continuing to chant?
No, he's talking as fast as he can, trying to finish it.
Alright, so I'm going to try and stop him from doing that, so I'm going to launch a magic missile at him. Eight points of damage from the magic missile.
Are these visions continuing? Should I make a save against that?
Alright, the magic missile hit him completely out of the blue. He made a check to try and keep his hands on Borsk, and he actually wound up stumbling backwards into the wall. When he does so, this creature turns around and you can only sort of partially see it from behind because it's almost like you're seeing half of the creature, and it looks completely different on the other side. But you get the impression that he's formed like a horrific maw, and he hisses at this demon over here. When he does so, this demon begins chanting another spell. Go ahead and make an Arcana check, Jeremy.
That or religion, whichever you would think would be better.
No, Arcana.
Natural 20.
You can tell that he's getting ready to cast a spell to get off of the earthly plane.
By the gods, whatever it is, it's making that other creature run.
Alright, Cthon, you're up.
The phasing creature hasn't stopped doing things yet. It just turned its attention away from us and scared off the other one, right?
He's not touching. He's not touching forward anymore. If that's what you mean. He's completely turned his attention away from you again.
Well, fortune favors the bold. Borsk alive.
He is alive, but he's very hurt. He is also not conscious right now.
Alright, I'm gonna pump the last of my magics into him and hope he wakes up.
He does awaken, but since he's chained down, he can't really get up to do anything.
First things first, save the life, worry about the rest later. And I am out of mana. I have tapped out, guys.
Alright, Thorin?
I'm going to run over the table and attempt to bash the chains off, or otherwise try to free him.
Alright, so it plays out like this. So Kieran, what were you gonna do in your turn?
Go pick the lock on the chain.
Alright, so it plays out like this. With the combination of both of you guys bashing and picking, yes, you're easily able to free him. This guy casts a spell and he gets out of there. This creature sort of floats back over and watches as this happens. And you notice, like, as he moves over, he starts getting like less and less able to see, until finally, by the time that the chains are off of Borsk, he's completely gone.
By the gods, what was that creature?
Borsk sits up, but he's still obviously in a lot of pain, probably both mental and physical. He looks around at all three of you, almost as if he doesn't recognize you, and then slowly it dawns on him that he does know the three of you. He looks up and says, "How did G3 know to come rescue me?"
I pull his hammer out and hand it to him.
He takes it, and he immediately seems to gain strength as he has it. You realize that it's not just any warhammer; it is, in fact, a magical warhammer. And once he holds it, he seems to immediately get better.
I think it's funny he recognizes me considering I'm no longer human.
So
I owed you a debt for your kindness to me, Borsk, and your favorable judgment. I hope now that you see that debt is paid.
So he actually says, "You, son of Stonebeard, I know you well. And Kieran, it is good to see you. It looks like your good ways have kept." And then he walks over here. "You, little halfling, you look familiar in a way, but have we met?"
We had, at one time, although I was not as I am now.
"What is your name?"
Cathon Galothos.
How did you come to encounter the lizardmen?
What was the last thing you asked him? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I was asking him how he came to encounter the lizardmen. That's how we found you.
I was out investigating. As I'm sure you're aware of now, there are problems with my order. I thought it was simple corruption, but something else is going on. I fear that the taint in my order runs deeper than I ever imagined. We must get back to town and talk to Bellisk. He must be held accountable for these crimes.
I have grave news for you. Bellisk has been slain. We saw him slain with our own eyes.
Bellisk is dead. At whose hand?
The men of your order, as they tried to slay us, slayed Bellisk. It was not his hand that corrupted your men.
But my men were all loyal except for him. He was working with that red gnome, but my men, they were all loyal.
First they slayed him, then they attacked us. We were barely able to make it out with our lives.
None of this makes any sense. We have to get back to Ironhurst now. My daughter could be in grave danger.
Well, you may find her closer than Ironhurst. She waits for us outside of the forest, or swamp.
Ah, thank the gods. Good hands, didn't you?
By a sense.
The best we had available at the time.
Horse is with her. She'll be okay.
Horse? Is this some great legendary fighter?
In a sense.
And Harrison.
Harrison? The kobold Harrison? You left Harrison with my daughter?
Unless there is something of the profane we need to learn from this creature's ritual, we should probably do this while we are moving.
Just so you know, Harrison has actually been helpful.
This is the same Harrison. How many years have I been gone?
Years?
A few days, a week.
That was a dwarf joke. Alright, so you guys are able to, you search around and you find some items that look to be of interest, and you take them with you. Your journey through the swamp this time is actually much easier. You actually think that the aura of having Borsk with you helps keep the undead away, as he's a much higher level priest, well, a much higher level paladin that is, than your priest. So it seems like the undead don't want to mess with him. You see a couple of packs of lizardmen. As soon as they sight you, they basically take off, knowing that they shouldn't mess with such a high level thing. The next day you arrive back at the camp, and there are 4 people there. There's Harrison, I guess I should say 5. Harrison, horse. Also Torin. And then 2 others that you don't recognize. There's this woman. And then I apologize, I found a really good picture and I will edit out the text later. And then this guy. They actually have very similar facial features, leading you to believe that they're probably at least brother and sister. I should say that none of you recognize them except, actually, Fulren, when you think back to the when the creature touched you, the faces look very familiar as if you saw them then.
The visions the creature gave me make no sense.
Greetings, travelers. I certainly hope that our campmates have not caused you any trouble.
Torin looks up and says, I think there's a lot to discuss. Harrison actually looks like he's at a loss for words for once. He's sort of over talking to himself in the corner. The man that I showed you, he walks up towards you. He doesn't have like weapons pulled or anything, and he says, "Kieran, Fulren, so good to see you again."
I give him a puzzled look again.
The woman walks over and says, "I told you, Kellic, they won't be able to remember."
Wait, remember what?
The girl looks over at the halfling. "Who is this creature you travel with? I had heard that you were in the accompaniment of Cathan Golothos."
I am Cathan.
"Now it is I that am puzzled," she says.
Upon our escape from what was the town's name again, bro? Upon our escape from Ironhurst, I was mortally wounded, but the gods have seen that they are not finished with me and my quest yet. And I have emerged from my former self in the shell of a halfling.
The woman walks up. She gets like within inches of you and says, "Do you remember nothing?"
The last I remember is leaving on my pilgrimage when we saw Boris Kammer deciding to go rescue him.
The man starts talking again. "Borsk, the paladin, he was captured by lizard people. Is that all that you saw?"
There were 2 fiends, I believe, and then it's kind of fuzzy, but there was something else there, but I could not recognize it. It seemed to be the one controlling the fiends.
The woman sort of like goes pale, even though she's already pale anyway, and says, "Describe it."
It had no definite shape. It was powerful, though. It stared at one of them and forced it back into the abyss just with its wrath. Let alone its... I can't think of it. Every time I try to think of it, it hurts my head. Can you guys help me out here?
It touched me. It gave me a vision of a city burning, a memory of I don't recall before this time.
It seemed to have no form, or if it did, it shifted between them, and it was hard to lay your eyes upon, as though it were. I don't know. I have no head for this sort of thing.
Almost like a creature of shadow, yet it did not have a definite shape.
They look at each other for a second, and then he says to his sister, "You were right. The vision was correct." She looks at all three of you and says, "I can make you remember. It will be painful, but I can make you remember."
Remember what?
He looks at you and says, "Remember when the Velsaku destroyed everything that you love."
Now it's my turn to turn pale.
Does that name ring a bell with my
Why would we go
knowledges,
back to
bro?
such dark times?
Yeah, Jeremy, everybody would know what they are. They're creatures of legend that ever told stories of.
I don't know about you, but I have lost many memories in my wanderings. I would be glad to have any back.
We
All
can't
right.
fight what we don't know. Please help us remember.
For next week, go back and create first level versions of your characters.
All right.
Flashback.
Well done, bro. Well done.
I dig it.
So you guys want XP tonight, or is it okay if I send it out tomorrow? I also need to get some loot sent out.
We can wait.
I don't know. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, it got pretty late.
All right. Before we go, my character turns to you guys. Kathon, Fulren, in my 40 years on this plane, I have had many friendships and seen many friends die. I have fought with you. I have bled with you. You two are worthy. I consider you friends to the death.
Indeed.
You seem a most admirable companion. I'm proud to call myself your friend as well.
Hey, I'm role playing.
So I didn't say anything out loud. That was good. Oh, just as an aside, the old wolf, you never found him. You're not really sure where he is.
That poor bastard.
You got him dead. You had to wait till the nasty creature messed with our heads, but you killed him all right.
Maybe I'll come back as some sort of Ranger Death Knight later or something.
You
I'm
make
getting
him
too
some
old
sort
for
of
this shit.
undead Ranger Death Knight, and I'm gonna hate you forever for it, because I did my best to keep him alive, jerk.
Well, he never died. He just wandered off.
He's just like F this and then walked out. We never saw fighting.
Well, after 2 heart attacks and he couldn't even throw a bottle of explosive stuff and hit somebody within a 10-foot radius, he needed to give up.
See, you gave us the amnesia without us even freaking knowing it. That's scary, brother.
Well, that was Act 1. Wait until Act 2 is done. It gets better.
Yay! Alright, I will work on my level 1 character later on.
So we're gonna do this memory recall thing out in the middle of nowhere then?
It will be in a town in the north. It's not on the maps right now. I'll kind of explain later.
Okay.
Oh. Joe, could you create like 3 blank character sheets? And that way we can put those down and use those instead of our permit.
Yeah, let me go do that.
You realize I have to recreate him again as a level 1 human cleric.
That's true. This would actually be a great point for somebody to hop onto the campaign, like if like Whitson and Whitson were to join. Because they can create the level 1 character and then go back and create like a level 5 character.
Yeah, we should have Jason next week, so we could, just do the level 1 and then just level it up after Act 2.
Nice curveball. I wondered why we're starting at like level 4, level 5, because we're pretty freaking powerful, but damn.
I always like starting at level or higher level. Level 1 is kind of tough. I actually have to be careful because if I kill your characters in the flashback, then I think the whole universe ceases to be.
Except for mine, I'll just be some other creature for a while.
Jeremy, hide behind the fighter.
You know what would be awesome? If you want to, you can create yourself as a race other than human. Maybe you died before.
Nice.
You are hilarious and evil, dear brother. Now I'm considering it.
Alright, so everybody now has a character called their character 1 that they can go create.
Awesome. Alright, I had a great time, guys. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yep,
Me
see you guys
too.
later.
Have a good one.